In this next video, we will be designing a pin by reading the instructions from an orthographic drawing, starting with a sketch, dimensioning it, and adding a Revolve bar space feature. If you would like to book training with us on SOLIDWORKS, please contact us and we will send you more information.
So we can see this is a cylindrical part file, and therefore we will be very strategic in the way that we do our sketch and our features so that we make the most of our time. So I would then like to open a new part file. This time I'm going to use my template. So in my custom templates folder, I will choose the part file. And once I open my part file, I can see that plain carbon steel has already been assigned as a material. And in my file properties under custom, I can see all of these have been filled in automatically. Let's have a look at the sketch for this part file. So we have a total length of, that's 2 plus 1 plus 75 plus 5, so that is 83 in length. But we're not going to just start with a block and then start cutting out. We are going to do the entire outline as it is here, excluding the chamfers, as we will do the chamfers as a feature. Okay, coming back to SOLIDWORKS. In this case, it doesn't actually matter whether you sketch it on the top plane or the front plane, since this part is going to be revolved. So I will sketch then on the top plane. Okay, let us start. I'm using my mouse shortcut, swiping to the left. I would like to use a construction line, so for construction over there, and click to the left, make sure that line is horizontal. Okay, from here, I would like to start with the outline. So I'm going to start in this far right, on this far right edge over here, go up, sideways, down, sideways, get that little notch there, and then close the shape. So let us do that. Let's swipe to the left. We now have a solid line going upwards, to the left, down, a long line to the left, okay, notch down, and back to the center line. There we go. So we have the general shape, but it is not yet defined because we are missing some dimensions. Okay, so if you recall, this length over here was 75. Okay, this thickness up here, if I'm not mistaken, was 5. That is correct. Okay, you'll notice my dimensions. I'm not being too pedantic about keeping the number in the middle, things like that, because it's just for the sketch. It's not an actual drawing sheet. But you still want to be neat and tidy with your dimensions so that you can see what you're doing. Okay, up next, this little part at the bottom is 2 millimeters thick, and the notch or the groove inside is 1 millimeter thick. So let's make this 1 mil, and this part here is 2 mils. For example, this over here, this is not very neat, so what I'm going to do is this, just to make it a little bit easier to see. Let's bring that one down, push this one up. There we go. Okay, we're still missing some dimensions though. So the overall radius of the head, as well as the shaft down here, and that inner, the outer diameter of that groove over there. So that is diameter 20, diameter 10, and diameter 8. But as you may have noticed, we have been sketching half of this profile. So how are we going to put in the dimensions? Do we need to figure out what half of the diameters are? Actually, you don't. There's another option. So because we have a center line running through the middle over here, when I have my dimension tool activated and I click on that center line, as well as another line that I'm referring to, it will give the distance between the center line and the line that you have selected. But should I move my mouse past the point of that center line, it will give me the double dimension automatically. So again, if it's between the center line and that line, it will give the dimension exactly as it is, and move my mouse past that point, it will give me the double dimension, in this case the diameter. That is 20 moles. Okay, don't worry about that, we're going to fix it up now. So that was 20 moles, 10 and 8. So let's do 10 over here. Okay, and 8 over here. Okay, this last line over here, instead of adding another dimension, I'm simply going to make a relation between that line and this line by holding Control on my keyboard and selecting both lines, and I will then click on collinear to make sure that those two lines are on the same horizontal path. Now my sketch is fully defined. I do not have any blue entities except for the endpoint of this line. If I don't like that, I can simply just click and drag that to a point that is already defined. The length of the center line doesn't actually matter because it is just construction geometry. Now I am done with the sketch profile of the shape of this part. I will go to the Features tab, and instead of Extrude Bar Space like we did for the spacer, we are now going to use the Revolved Bar Space. So it brings up this notification that says the sketch is currently open. A non-thin revolution feature requires a closed sketch. Would you like the sketch to be automatically closed? This is indeed a non-thin revolution. We do not want this to be a shell. We want it to be solid. So I will click on yes to automatically close the shape. Now, what SOLIDWORKS has done is it automatically selected that center line running through the middle as the axis of revolution, and the default settings are blind 360. So if you would like to change any of those settings, you're welcome to do that here, but for the sake of this pin, we will keep it at blind 360. Once I'm happy with that, I can click on OK, and there we have a little pin. The only thing we are missing is the chamfer. So the chamfer was 2 by 45 degrees at the top and 1 by 45 degrees at the bottom. So in your Features tab, underneath Fillet, clicking on that drop down arrow, we can select chamfer. Selecting this top edge over here. My settings before were set to 10 millimeters. That is way too much for what I need. I only need 2 millimeters, and I will leave it at 45 degrees. I can see my preview here, and that looks good. I'm happy with that. And then I can click on OK. The last chamfer is then on this bottom edge over here. So again, selecting the chamfer feature, selecting that bottom circular edge, and our previous feature, we had it at 2 millimeters, so it continued using that as the default. I will then change that to 1 millimeter instead, 45 degrees, and click OK. And there we have it, our pin is done.